Good morning, folks. I have a Magasock account here, and this is your update from the other side. I'm assuming the big question on everyone's mind today is how are they responding to this latest Epi Files drop? Now, it usually takes a minute or two for stuff to hit my FYP over there, and my theory is because they have to figure out what the official narrative is going to be so they can all start parroting it. Today, I only saw one video from a big creator, and I'm going to share it with you because this is going to be the narrative. Think about how we can counter this.
We just got the latest release of the Epstein files, and there is a lot in there that people are talking about. Except there's just one problem, and that's the people who are talking about it aren't necessarily being entirely transparent. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some pretty dangerous claims in there, such as the president sexually assaulted a 13-year-old and a bunch of other very bad things. The only problem is these come from a tip line. I'll put them here up on the screen for you to read for yourself. Just pause the video and you can scroll through them. These are the records from the anonymous tip line that people called into. The problem is people on the left are posting these screenshots as if they're definitive concrete proof, but they're not posting the whole thing. You see, the report is split into 4 categories: the name of the person leaving the complaint, what the complaint was about, the response in regards to the complaint, and if the person who did not remain anonymous had any criminal history. It just happens to be that the people on the left releasing the screenshots carve out the response and whether or not the person leaving the tip had any criminal history. And so these tips are incredibly disturbing things. They're very visceral images and they're very horrible if they're true. The problem is none of them are actually verified. And you'll see, I'll play them on the screen here. There were things such as no credibility given to the source, or they called and never heard back, or they set up appointments and nothing went through with it. All the way to the person leaving this tip had to undergo 3 different psych evaluations because they were just crazy. When people take these claims that have already been disproven as unreliable and try to present them as concrete fact, it is just a disservice to the actual victims.
I don't know about you, but I hear a lot of victim blaming, questioning credibility of the victims, even though, and then turning around and claiming that he gives a fuck about the victims. Oh, also too, the people releasing the files, it's his DOJ. Talk to your girl. She's the one releasing it. I mean, at least 47's name was mentioned, and, I guess we'll take that as a win, but, that's what they're going to start saying. They're going to start blaming the victim for not coming out, not speaking up, not doing it right, whatever. And just as a side note, recent events here on left-wing TikTok have shown us that a lot of people can easily start victim blaming folks. Okay, that's the update for today. I just want to quickly speak to some comments I've gotten on my last few videos regarding making sure that I'm taking care of myself and my mental health and doing self-care. And one sweet person who said that if you look at me and from the beginning when I've been doing this, it looks like it's taking a toll on me. Yeah, but let me share with you what I think it is, or how I feel anyway. So, some vulnerability here coming up right now. I'm not going to lie, it's been more difficult for me to remain hopeful. I guess I don't know why. I still can't figure out why I'm less hopeful because nothing really has changed that much. We always knew that the violence was going to come for everybody eventually. I think one thing I'm just really still upset about is the fact that I have recognized him for what he was for a decade when he was a candidate the first time. And I'm just so angry that we're here. So angry that we're here. However, in that 10 years, I have learned so much about the systems, the systemic racism in every aspect of our culture and our government that now I do feel like to some degree, it has to burn down for us to rebuild it that's in a way that's actually equitable for everybody. So I'm grateful for that in the last decade I have learned a lot more about the reality of my country. My eyes have been opened more and I'm still learning more every day what it's been like for other folks, for people of color and indigenous people in this nation. I have a lot of guilt for my ancestry. I know a lot about it, and I have some really horrible, famous people in my background. And so, that's partly why I won't shut up because I'm trying to atone for my ancestors' role in where we are today. I also feel guilty that this is not enough, that I'm not doing enough. I constantly think about how, where can I fit in more activism between my 8-hour day job, my 4 to 6 hours a day studying, 8 hours of sleeping, basic hygiene, and doing this for y'all because that's pretty much my life. It's not feel like enough. I feel like I need to do more. And I do. I go to events and meetings and music festivals when I can. But, and again, I don't live in a place where there's a lot of that happening all the time either. I have to drive. Denver is 2.5 hours away from me. All that to say that I have stopped posting every day because of my mental health. I have stepped back. I don't feel like I have to post every day. I have let go of that because it was really taking a toll on me. You weren't wrong. I think just like a lot of folks, I'm just finding it hard to function, um, hard to focus. I had ADD anyway. So, yeah. Okay, this video has been very long. So, thank you for watching. Thanks for listening to me be vulnerable. Please feel free to share your vulnerabilities in the comments. I think we're all suffering from a lot of the same things right now. So, yeah, I'm sending you all my love. All right. It's going to be okay somehow. Try to get involved. Take care of yourselves too. Okay. Touch some grass. Enjoy your Saturday and take care.